Hello, this is Wyland with the FPV podcast, where we talk about the FPV community and everything we do with our radio-controlled machines. Before we get into the show, I just want to very quickly touch upon our Patreon giveaway. This is a monthly giveaway that we're going to be doing for our Patreon supporters. So we're going to be giving away a lot of great products. The first month, January, we're going to be giving away a GoPro and a couple of other things. So if you're interested in supporting the podcast and being entered into the giveaway, please go over to fpvpodcast.com. That's fpvpodcast.com. Before we start the show, I just want to very quickly shout out our newest patron members, Chad T. Thank you so much. Chad is actually a local here, and he did a big contribution. We really appreciate it, Chad. FPV 3D, thank you so much. The next person is Drone Racer 101. Don't know the exact name, but thank you so much for being a contributor to our Patreon account. And the last person is Curtis C. Again, thank you so much. Really appreciate the support. Hello everyone, welcome to this week's FPV podcast. This week, Elvin made a new friend and they make cameras, so it's going to be kind of interesting. This is the first time we get to talk to a camera manufacturers. We've talked to many manufacturers, but this is the first time we actually talk to a camera manufacturer. So before we introduce our guests, Elvin, what do you got today?
Man, I'm telling you, this is the camera that everybody's been raving about. Everybody know the Caddx cameras now. They've been on the market for a little short time, and I reached out to them, and I ended up talking to this representative, and we got him on the show. It was a little hard because of the holidays, y'all, but we got him here first before everybody else. And how you doing, Hami?
Hi, Elvin. I'm fine. Hi, Wei. How are you guys?
Doing well. How about you?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Great.
Just lack of sleep.
Now you are.
As you know, it's already 3:15 a.m. here. You know.
Yes. Hami is actually
okay.
joining us straight from China, so he's actually kind of accommodating our schedule in order to be on the podcast, and we really appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
Thank you, guys. Yeah.
So, Hami, can you go ahead and give us a little bit of your background?
Okay, so yeah, let's do it. Just maybe briefly.
Okay.
You know, 'cause if gonna talk about the history, that's a long time. I mean, and as I know, just I don't want to take. I mean, you guys. I mean, much of your time. So anyway. Yeah, this is Hami Sabir. So I've already joined, I mean, Caddx company from the beginning, and yeah, we worked on the security field at the first time. Later, we opened, I mean, new line for CCTV cameras. We created, I mean, a lots of products, and we got, I mean, our product got a big fame in different parts of the world. Recently, as far as we noticed that the FPV field is emerging, and yeah, we use normally to do the OEM for some companies before, you know, in this field. Yeah, but we decided finally to make our brand and launch it. So that's what we are doing for the moment.
Okay.
Nice.
For you, I guess, working for Caddx, who makes security cams, you noticed that there was an uptick in people buying these small little cameras for the purposes of FPV, first person view. And at this point in time, it just made sense for Caddx to actually join in and make their own product line. Is that kind of what I'm hearing?
Exactly. So we were supplying, I mean, doing OEM for some other companies, but finally we decided to launch our brand. So that's why just, I mean, focus, made a plan and launch it.
Okay, sounds good. So how long have you guys been making security cameras? I'm not too familiar with the Caddx brand. So can you give us a little background?
This was almost for 10 years now. For the CCTV exactly, we opened a new branch, I mean, here in Shenzhen, since it's the hub of the CCTV security cameras, I mean, in the world. So we prefer to plant, I mean, ourselves in the heart of the security cameras hub to get our part of the market and to be near the sources. So this is it.
Well, that keeps research down, right? Research costs and being so close together and staying in the hub area, you don't have to run all over the place.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's it. So for any company need to be close. I mean, for the resources, so as and for development as well, and also from competitors. So
right.
Yeah.
So Elvin has actually have experience with the Caddx FPV camera. So I'm going to let Elvin talk a little bit about the FPV camera. So give us your experience on these cameras, Elvin, and what other information you would want from Hami about these cameras.
I was given the opportunity to get two F1 turbos, which is a CMOS version. There's a CCD version too, and you can look that up. But I have the F1 version. It's $20. It's cheaper than any other camera in that size category, and the OSD works well. It's very simple. The adjustments are similar to what we're used to with from the HS 1177 and up. The 1189 and up, control wise, the menus. It's similar, but it's not the same. The performance, though, I was really, really shocked because I have a Runcam micro, and I had it in a little ship, one of my little 2.5 inches, and I thought I was getting good performance. I mean, it seemed like the camera was doing well and the adjustments were right. But once I put this F1 turbo in it, man, I was like, what the hell happened? Like did the lights come on? The camera works. It's the brightness is just so much more with the turbo and with the F1 turbo, and the picture is really good. I mean, it's 1,200 lines. It's not 1,200 lines, but it's the resolution is crisp, clear. It's easy. The light response is really nice. Like I don't see, like, normally with a CMOS camera, you see when you, like, what I do is I'll take my hand and I'll cover up the camera, and then I'll pull my hand back, right? And when I do that, I get to see how fast the camera reacts to the light. And I do that, with every camera I get, because you got. But this thing performs really well.
Test the latency.
Yeah. And it's the way that I use to adjust the light sensitivity, the brightness, and all that. Because in other cameras I've done that, and you get to a point where you're adjusting something and it blows you out, like all you can see is white. And in this camera, it doesn't do that, And I'm really, and a couple of my friends that have seen my video since then, or right along with me, all say the same thing. Like, really, like. It's really a big difference, from going from the Runcam Micro to the Caddx Turbo Micro F1.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. So, Hami, I don't know if you know much about the technical specifics of this, but when you were designing this line, were there kind of specific goals that you were trying to achieve for your FPV cameras?
Yep. Sure, of course. We know what the cameras I mean in the market are, and yeah, we're trying to do I mean our best, to create or develop the cameras to get better and better. Yeah, we focus on I mean the mainly points that pilots, most of pilots, I mean, care about. So that's the image, the refreshness. Those are the, I mean, important points. I mean, every pilot care for. For our F1, so that was the second. Well, yeah, that was the third. I mean, camera. That was mainly. I mean, we comparing. I mean, if others want to compare it exactly to Monster and to Sparrow for Rancam.
Yeah,
So
I will
yeah,
agree with
but
that.
in
The
fact,
nighttime is
can
awesome.
yeah can also be compared to other cameras.
Yeah, for like 20, $30 less. Like that's what's blowing me away. It's like and because I got that SDR1 from you, and
Yeah.
that thing is like there's like literally everybody. There's normally where okay, so like where my Owl Plus goes black and white, where the Eagle Monster or where the Monster goes black and white, it just shows black and white. This thing shows color and the same amount of light, and it's just phenomenal that like late at night I'm flying along with color and not black and white. Like I'm like I'm like really is it? I thought it was like 10 o'clock at night, and I'm flying down the street, down my neighborhood, and I thought it was 10 o'clock at night, but it looks like it's about 7:35. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's because of I mean refreshness and the quality, the resolution quality. So and mainly that's because of the sensor and the other components we are using in the cam. So yeah, the price, we didn't I mean try to make profits on this camera, just because since we are emerging, we just began, so we need to get closer to pilots, to customers. I mean, decide to sell it on that low price, $20.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that.
It's okay.
Nowadays, since
Yeah.
most pilots right now are converting over to building smaller rigs for the winter time, they're definitely looking for more cameras. So this is actually a good point to, release a camera, because I've noticed quite a few people that are kind of rebuilding their entire fleet to smaller ones. So I don't know, this is a good point, and people are flying at night because, the days are getting shorter.
Right,
So
real short.
yeah, so it's definitely a good time. I also noticed reading the spec sheet that the cameras accept a wide variety of voltages. It's like I think 5 volts all the way up to 40 volts.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's not
nuts.
so
Yeah.
it's not something you have to worry about. It's like, oh, if I plug this battery in, am I gonna fry this component? I always appreciate components that can take a wide variety of voltages, because I don't have to worry about voltage spikes destroying stuff, and I don't have to worry about regulators. It's just very nice, and that alone is a time saver
Oh
when it
yeah,
comes to building stuff.
yes indeed.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, obviously, you came out with these two cameras. Are they going to be like the staples of your line, or are you already kind of working on like replacements and you're going to improve the line? Like, how long are these cameras going to be staying around?
How long it's gonna be staying around? So this depends. Of course, we are our R&D team are working. I mean, on some new projects. I cannot discover them for the moment.
Right.
That's the
Come
part of the
on, man.
secret.
Come on. Let me
Yeah.
twist your finger.
But let's be surprised. Yeah, maybe a chance for another live show.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are
So
making. I mean, the performance. Like my buddy Jason Lunchbox, he's been hyping up your camera for like months, right? Like 3 or 4 months now, and he's been doing a couple of giveaways. So if you guys know Lunchbox, go check him out. If you don't, go check him out. And he's doing something different, and he's on Team Canada. So, go check him out. Anyway, he's a great pilot, great attitude, him and his significant other and the cat. I want to say hello to the cat. Anyway, but he's been pushing that camera a lot, and I got the chance to see it, and I was like, hey, when I got home, I said I got to go find this guy and see if we can chat and maybe get him on the show. And prior to meeting you, I went out and bought two of the F1s and put those on my 2.5-inch sub micros. And I we've had a couple of times trying to connect with this show, trying to time frame this time of the year, holidays, and there's a lot of racism going on the other side of the planet right now too. And I keep striving to get this connection because your product is actually performing so well that most of my guys are in rave of it. They put on their goggles, they watch me fly, and go, hey man, that's much better than what I got over here, and they can, since we all fly alike, we all kind of know who has the best video, and it's kind of moved me up.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, fabulous. So that's what we want. I mean, just to let pilots enjoy. I mean, they're flying, enjoy their hobby. So and share some good feelings. So that's the most important thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So for Lunchbox, of course, he's one of our customers, and he tried the camera, so he got also surprised, the same feeling as yours, So that's why I decided to take hold it out, and he just found that promotional way.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. So we cannot, say that when we launch something, we launch it perfectly. You understand me, I guess.
Yes, definitely. There's always room for improvement, and I'm sure you're going to get feedback from other people that are using your cameras, and they're going to try to ask you for improvements. Have you already received feedback from pilots that want certain things improved?
Yeah, we already received some feedbacks, and we worked on that. We try to upgrade our cameras a bit minimally. I mean, the SDR for the moment, because it has some slight issues at the beginning for the first batch, but actually now we are upgrading already. I can say almost all the issues will be solved sooner.
Okay,
I like good. The one I got. It works fine.
Yeah. All right.
16.9 is what I'm running, and I switched to 4.3 just for a moment. Didn't like it. Went back to 16.9. That's just my preference, but I like to see more on the sides than in the front of me because I'm more of a stable flyer. So wherever I'm flying, I'm usually flying, not pitching as much. Where other pilots tend I know the freestyle guys like to do a little bit more forward view than side view, and so for me it's working out really good. But I've not had an issue with the so-called blackout. It didn't happen. I think I got a batch 2.
Yeah, so normally it's just if somebody, the pilots are aware of, so that's why I already, advised our customers to do with their customers as well. So we will put notice this time inside the boxes, so the end users, the customers will read it. You understand, in advance, so they can know how to manage themselves.
Yeah, and that's all it. Since you had already told me, I was kind of expecting it, and it didn't happen. And so I was like, oh, no big deal, So, I know a guy who has That's one, and he said he's not changing, so he's comfortable where it was set, so he didn't mess with it anymore. But I'm sure there's people out there that want to see the difference between 4.3
Exactly,
and,
yeah.
and
So some
16.9.
some guys, they prefer to play with the sitting, you know.
Right.
Yeah, to try different options. So yeah, if they know, I mean, they are aware of what might happen. So I'm sure they won't fall into that problem. So actually, now I mean, the recent patches, they even don't have this
Issue.
case.
Yeah.
This issue. So only one thing is that for some guys that they prefer to use the 4:3 aspect ratio. So for those, because you know our SDR normally but it comes out by default 16:9. You understand? So some guys they don't fly with that. They prefer 4:3. So
Right.
they go to change it in sitting. So while do such kind of process, you know, the camera, when you change the aspect ratio from 16:9 to 4:3, it will the screen comes black. Do you understand? For seconds. Some guys, you know, they when this happens, they think that there is a problem with the camera, so they disconnect the cam, or do you understand? So when they do so, they, you know, totally burn it, I can say. So that's why, yeah, they can't use it later, and they just, you know, claim to us, but it's okay. Actually, now we just begin to put such kind of notice, I mean, inside the box, to just let people to let them aware about this kind of, when they change the aspect ratio from 16:9 to 4:3, the camera, because it's reading another software, do you understand? It takes time. So that's why we advise them to wait for some seconds, wait for the camera. Even if it comes black, it doesn't mean it's not working, but it's just because the software is kind of slow reading.
So basically, nobody should, if it happens, don't unplug. Just wait a little bit.
Exactly.
Takes a moment for it to refresh.
Yeah.
Because basically, it's booting up. The camera's got to reboot, and another
program.
What do you call it? A boot frame, I guess.
Yeah, program or software. So
yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay, yeah, and no, go ahead, Alvin. I know you have a list of questions.
Well, okay, so like, what is the refresh rate? A lot of guys want to know the latency of cameras today, and a lot of the cameras run. They televise low latency or low latency, but they actually are high, because of the processing time. So, what is let's just say the SDR1. What is do you know the latency of the SDR1?
Yeah. It's normally between 24 and 30. So I'm not can assure you, I mean, one exact number, because it may depend sometimes. Yeah, so it's we try always to not, I mean, let our cameras, I mean, have a long latency, and we are trying to decrease the latency as much as we can. So yeah, we got 22 as well. We sometimes, it's even some cameras we can get to 20. Do you understand? MS.
That's
yeah, 20 ms. So we are trying our best, to decrease because we know this is a very important, I mean, point for pilots.
The least amount of latency gives me the opportunity to fly faster, because I can see more of where I'm going, and not less a snapshot every, because that, like, I've flown several cameras on a couple of my wings at, plus, let's say 100 plus 130, and like right at about 140, 150, you can actually tell like a big difference. Like you're flying at a tree, and then the next thing you know, you're in the tree. That's one of the things that I'm interested in doing soon. I'm gonna get my hands on another one of your cameras and put it on one of my wings and see, take it up for a little high speed, because quads can go fast, but you got to go out and build a phenomenal ship, to do 150 miles an hour with a quad, and where with an airplane or a glider or a long range ship, some of them you can do that with a lot less money spent.
Definitely.
Yeah. So and this is seamless, huh? And this is seamless.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But as you know, the CCD is better for racers. Our CCD has almost I can say less than 5. I mean, MS, and that's what make our S1, the mini and the micro. I mean, our first product. Got much attraction, and many people got surprised with the quality of the cameras.
The whole market.
It's because exactly.
It's kind of like we it's like it's like you get normalized to something. You know what I mean? Like, do you expect something to be a certain way, and then things change, and then you're like, holy crap! Like wow, where was this? And we as a community, we appreciate the fact that you stepped into the market, and then we really appreciate the fact that you got like your number one selling camera at $20. You know what I mean? And it performs as well as some $30 and $40 cameras. And and it's a micro. I mean, come on, like a lot of guys that are experiencing what I'm experiencing when I put on my goggles now, and I can tell the difference. Like I can literally tell you the difference between the two micros. Like, oh, that's a run cam. Like, oh, that's a Caddx right there, buddy. Yep. And it's not normal for it to be that way. It is for nighttime though. I'll say that. For nighttime stuff, it's been like you get a nighttime camera and you're like, holy crap, it's super bright, all the time, right? But not the clarity, and then to get dark and then have some of the color that you expect to not be there, like that kind of blows you away.
We're getting over half an hour, and we realize that you want to get to bed. So before we start wrapping up, can you just very quickly go down the list who it's designed for? Is this one's designed for racers? This one's designed for freestyle pilots, so that if people listen to it and they're looking at your product line, they'll know exactly which camera they should get.
For me, from my point of view, CCD for racers is the best choice. Because it's because of its quick refreshness, also quality. The CCD, everyone knows. Mainly the professional guys in the CCTV field, they know the difference between CCD and CMOS. But even though, our CMOS cameras, we try to make them, in the high performance to be almost similar, I mean, to CCD. So yeah, we are getting to that closer and closer. We hope in the near future, yeah, we can come up with something, I mean, better.
I noticed because I looked around your guys' website, and there's some, you guys have, lots of cameras, and from panoramic to 4-in-1s for outdoors and indoors, and you guys even have some mini bullet cameras, but the nighttime cameras that you guys have are just phenomenal. I mean, they are kind of on, you wouldn't want to be buying one of these to put on your quad, but and if you are, it's a monster. But the nighttime stuff, I can see where your technology is coming from. You know what I mean? I'm like, your performance right now in nighttime is just unheard of, and which means it's. Look, I've flown a couple of FLIR cameras, and it's pretty damn close. You know what I mean? It's like your stationary camera is seeing better than some of the cameras that cost twice, 3 times what it costs. You know what I mean? That's very impressive.
Yeah, that's great. So definitely looking forward to seeing what other products that Caddx will be bringing out. And yeah, we'll be enjoying your cameras then. For anybody who hasn't heard of the line, definitely check them out. They have a website for all of their cameras. So we kind of went through generally what you should look for. And I'm sure there are plenty of reviews out there too. So definitely check them out. Hami, for you, where should they kind of look for the latest and greatest for Caddx cameras? Is it just the website?
Not really. We are working on I mean another new website mainly for the FPV cameras. You understand?
Nice.
So yeah, we try kind of separate because already we have a lots of product in CCTV1, but we don't want to combine the two fields together for the moment. Since the FPV itself, we are still developing some new products, so that's why we will sooner come out with a new website only for the FPV cameras and accessories as well.
Do you know what the new web address is going to be?
Not really. Still not decided for the moment. Yeah.
Okay,
But
great.
when it's ready to be launched, we will launch it, and yeah, let everybody knows about it.
Okay, sounds
No
good.
worry.
Roger.
Roger that. Yeah. Hemi, we really appreciate you coming on, waking up at 3 in the morning to tell us a little bit about your products. We're kind of, as you can tell, Elvin's really excited about your cameras, and he definitely wanted you on to kind of promote it and to be able to, make sure everybody understands that, it's not always go with what you already know. You could try something new, and it could be potentially better, especially for nighttime.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, thank you very much, Wei, and thanks, Elvin.
Yeah.
All right, and we will talk to you later. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure, man. Yeah. Okay, so wish you have a good day.